What's up, guys? It's been a while since I've updated everybody on Hunter Ultimate Finale situation. Oh my God, it's been like I think like 8 months since the game came out, and it's since then there was plans to revive the game and have it be out by August or July, and things just happened, and then that update never came out as intended. And now we're here in September, and I thought about continuing the game as is, just changing the progression and changing how the game works, and your data would save. But there's a lot of things that I came into realization when Niji brought it up. Niji's the builder of the game. He brought up the fact that the game is extremely old, and we definitely could make a much better game right now in our current states, which is incredibly true. That is very, very true. I started this project in early 2019, and the reason why the game didn't come out that year, let alone 2020, was due to the fact that so much procrastination, right? Like, probably it amounted to like 8 months of just total procrastination, just like on my part. Like, I was just, multiple games just kept coming out when I wanted to work on the game, and I ended up not doing it. Like, say for example, like Naruto Mighty came out. I played that game for like the entire summer, and I barely updated Hunter x Hunter. I had a KB Kuroko no Basket game that came out 2020 that I worked on myself. Didn't update Hunter x Hunter. I played Rogue Lineage. I was really addicted to that game. I played Rogue Lineage a lot. I had school. I was still in school at that time as a senior. The list goes on, man. Like, see, like, the issue was, it was all just an old game that was slowly being updated and not really like refreshed. Like, I just went back and I looked at the Discord and I see how many channels there are. Like, there's probably like 50 channels, no, probably 60 channels just on my part. If I go back there and I tab in and I read what's there, there's so much stuff, and it's just unorganized, and it just kind of hurts to look at. It makes me cringe a little, right? And the whole idea that I was going to do behind continuing the game, at least in its current state, was just change the whole game progression. Basically, the idea was you could do any quest at any level, and you would get percentage XP. So basically, the higher level you were, the more XP you would get. And of course, you were guaranteed a double, at least probably a double level up on each quest that you do. And you could do quests with friends that are like level 100 and say you're level 10. You could do it together. But the NPCs would deal percentage damage instead of like absolute damage. So basically, think about it like this, okay? So say I'm a fresh spawn that spawns in with 100 HP, and this NPC does 20 damage per hit. I would die in 5 hits. That's absolute damage. Now instead, say I made it so that it does 5% of your health. So basically, instead of that NPC that was doing 20 damage per hit, instead it's going to do 5 damage per hit. And that will apply on every level that you are. So you could be up in like the 3,000 HP or whatever. Not that would ever happen, but like something like that. But the reason why I didn't want to do that, it's just the game's outdated. The game is outdated. It needs a refresh. A huge refresh. And I feel like we didn't even capture what Hunter x Hunter was really all about. The game was 100% a bandit beater. Back then I probably could not admit it, but no, it was. It was. I will admit that full on, straight up right now, that it was a bandit beater, and I don't like how it turned out. And due to that, I don't know, I just felt like we probably could just continue the game as it was back then, You know, like this place right now is called the Spear World. It was a part of that current update that I was working on. This current stuff right now, this is probably like up to date with my current skill right now. There's a lot more stuff in this world right now, or this spirit realm, that nobody really knows about. I showed a couple sneak peeks. But yeah. Now I'm just gonna move on. I'm gonna say what the current plan for the game is. All right. So the game's gonna get revamped completely from scratch. It's gonna be a brand new game, and this time around we're gonna capture the actual venture of what Hunter x Hunter should really be about, and explore more about Nen. And you're not gonna start off with Nen this time. The idea that we have right now is kind of vague, but we're planning something. We're gonna try to plan something extremely interesting. It's gonna have heavy emphasis on exploring the world. Traveling from island to island is probably going to be a little long because islands are going to be somewhat huge, just like how they're intended to be in Hunter x Hunter. Right now, the islands on this game, they're fairly big, but like the difference between trying to get from this island or Whale Island to let's just say Zaban City is pretty small. You can get there in like 5 minutes. No, not even 5 minutes, 2 minutes. It's fairly small. You can travel around the game very fast, and there was not much emphasis on boats and all that stuff and exploring the game. The game was completely two-dimensional. You just go to other quests, other islands. You do the quests there, which are actually reskins of every single other one, and the only difference is there's different NPCs that are harder to fight because they infinite combo you. And the whole game currently, it was based off spam and skills. That too I don't like. I don't like that either. It kind of, there's a couple stuff that was a little flashy, like speed of lightning. When I do remake the game, which is very soon, there's a couple stuff I'm still gonna keep, like speed of lightning. The way that it looked, I still like it right now. I'm not gonna change that. You obviously can't see it right now because the world is like, it's gray, but that's kind of the idea, right? It's just a completely different game. A lot of things are going to change. I don't think the faces are going to change, but the game's going to be different. It's going to be as if you guys play a different game. And I can say this, unfortunately, data is going to reset because it's a different game. I want to apologize. I'm sorry for everybody that spent money on the previous game. I'll try to figure out some kind of way to at least try to compensate. I don't know if I can fully compensate that. I definitely can't. I already disappointed a lot of people by the game ending up in the way that it did, unfortunately. But your game passes and all that stuff is gonna save. I'm deciding on switching discords because the current Hunter x Hunter Discord is very clumped. There's a lot of channels that I don't want there. Things are just not sorted out. It's kind of nasty just being in there. But a new Discord will be made when the game is ready for the public, at least. There will be multiple stress tests on the new game. I could say that at least. I don't know when the game will come out. I can say for a fact it will not be 2021. It will definitely not be 2021, but it will be 2022. That I can guarantee. This time I'm not lying. But yeah, so just a few key points is going to be a very big emphasis on exploring the game, learning how to get Nen, expanding on that Nen. It's going to be different types of Nen. Like I'm talking about, this is just a little sneak peek, but there's going to be ways to use your Nen in different ways. Some people use it with raw power, some people use it intelligently, and some people use it with calm energy. You could kind of think about that in your own imagination of what that would mean. One be like very explosive, one being very subtle. Just different things to range out. And there's going to be different types of, let's just say, forms to your Hatsu. So I could say I have Godspeed, right? I can use it in a super explosively raw way, and maybe in a condensed way. Basically, the imagination is key to this, to the way that we're planning the game, and I think people will like this. If you want to stick around, you can. If not, that's fine. We're just gonna start from completely bottom and build our way back up again, and slowly get to what we wanted, and just finally release the product that we wanted to release. And I'm just glad that I made the current HxH game. You know, it failed in a sense. There's a lot of issues, a lot of bugs. You know, this is like my first big game. I'm glad I went through it. I already went through the stress of like what it means to really like drop a game. Like, the game came out, there was bugs I've never seen before in all of testing, and I had to make content at the exact same time as the only scripter, and people said, yeah, just get another scripter. It's kind of hard to do that for people. You know, you can't really trust that many people on this website. I mean, thankfully now I have a couple of scripter friends that I could go ask, and I don't mind giving them team create. It just depends on whether or not they have the time for that. But besides that, myself, our dev team already went through hell once, so we're not going to go through it again. The second release is going to be way more successful, and hopefully the game will be sustainable for the next time it drops. I'm just going to apologize once again for the people who've still been waiting on the current HxH. It's been 9 months since I declared that I was going to continue the game. Even then, I got extremely lazy and I just didn't update the game for months. I lacked motivation. But this time around, I look back at the current game and I just see, you know, there's a lot of stuff we could have fixed. You know, there's a lot of new things we can add to the game, because personally my skills have gotten a lot better. My builder skills have gotten a lot better. Like, overall, the whole team has gotten way more skillful at what we do, and I want to bring that product to you guys with an updated game that isn't almost 2 years old. Yeah, this game is 2 years old. And when it came out, it was like roughly 1.5 years old. So basically what you guys were playing was just like an outdated version of our current like abilities. Because all it was, we were just updating a completely old game and just literally just adding on to it. Nothing new. Well, nothing really new. Like, the systems weren't getting reverted, or weren't getting refreshed at least. It was all an old game that everybody was playing pretty much. Nothing new got added. Well, you can't really count Hotsus and all that stuff being as new, because the very activation system for the game was pretty outdated in itself, you know. And servers, as time went on, they got laggy. People were floating in the server. People could only do like one move per like 3 minutes, and that very move that they did came out like at a very, very slow rate. Extremely slow. But yeah, if you stuck this far, I'm very thankful. And if you want to wait for the next game, by all means, you're welcome. I'm sorry I disappointed people for the last HxH game that we did, which is this one. I guess it's going to be called like HxH like Ultimate Finale 2 or something. I don't know. We'll see. Alright. Thank you for sticking around.